and he shall live, and to him shall be given of the gold of Sheba. Prayer also shall be made for him continually, and daily shall he be praised. Psalm 72, verse 15. Solomon's prayer turns from the king's character to the king's reception. The verse opens with a declaration: "The king shall live." This is not a wish. The king who delivers the needy, spares the poor, and redeems the oppressed shall live. His life is not cut short by the enemies he defeats, or the violence he absorbs on behalf of the weak. The Queen of Sheba brought gold to Solomon, and Solomon prays this pattern will mark the righteous king's reign. Nations bring their wealth not as tribute extracted by conquest, but as voluntary honor given to a king who rules with righteousness. The tribute of verse 10 becomes the gold of verse 15, and the movement is the same. The nations come. But the most remarkable element in this verse is not the gold, but a prayer. The people pray for the king. This reverses the normal ancient arrangement. Kings received taxes, labor, and military service from their subjects. Here, the people give something the king cannot take by force. They pray for him. They invest their intercession in his welfare, because his welfare is bound up with theirs. And daily they praise him, not from compulsion, but from gratitude. This verse points beyond Solomon's 40-year reign to the ultimate son of David, whose people intercede before the Father on the basis of his name and whose praises never cease. The book of Revelation shows the living creatures and elders and 10,000 voices declaring the Lamb worthy without pause or interruption. There shall be an handful of corn in the earth upon the top of the mountains. The fruit thereof shall shake like Lebanon, and they of the city shall flourish like grass of the earth. Psalm 72, verse 16. This verse describes abundance growing from impossible conditions. A handful of grain planted on a mountaintop, where soil is thin and wind is constant, produces a harvest that shakes like the cedars of Lebanon. Lebanon's forests were the ancient world's standard for overwhelming, towering growth. Solomon prays that the righteous king's reign produces this kind of abundance from the least promising ground. The image carries agricultural and covenant weight. Deuteronomy 28 connects obedience to God with harvest blessing, and Solomon's prayer draws on that covenant framework. Under the righteous king, the land itself responded. This is not poetry decorating a political speech. It is a theological declaration that righteousness produces life. Where the righteous king rules, creation cooperates with the covenant. The grain grows, the people multiply, and the harvest exceeds every reasonable expectation based on the soil's condition. His name shall endure forever. His name shall be continued as long as the sun, and men shall be blessed in him. All nations shall call him blessed. Psalm 72, verse 17. Solomon's prayer reaches its highest point. Not the gold, not the harvest, but the name. The righteous king's name endures forever, outlasting every empire, every dynasty, every political arrangement human ingenuity can construct. This verse echoes God's covenant with Abraham, where God promised that all families of the earth would be blessed through him. Solomon applies that Abrahamic language to the king, identifying the righteous king as the one through whom the Abrahamic blessing reaches all nations. Men shall be blessed in him. All nations shall call him blessed. The name that endures is the name through which blessing flows outward to every people on earth.